Well, good morning, Bakersfield. Surrounding communities, everybody watching online on YouTube, Twitch, and Facebook Live. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. I'm Chris Burdick. That's Sparky. Sparky, good morning.
Good morning.
Let them know what they're in for.
We'll preview tonight's game, and if you got any fantasy questions, get them in there. Already got one this morning, so we'll get into the big Thursday night game between the Rams and the Seahawks. Big Thursday night football game. We'll run down our picks. Plus, we're gonna get into a little last minute Christmas shopping with a senior director over at Wally World. We'll talk about that. We'll have our boy Anthony, who's got an open mic returning tonight at Timbler. We'll get into that. Plus, we're hoping to get Bolt Brady before the show's over, but you can text in because our phone lines are a little jacked up today, but you can text in anytime at 661-842-2000.
Hopefully, we'll be having Bolt Brady over video. I did send him an email yesterday. I'm not 100% sure if he got it or not, but we'll find out. Hopefully, he'll be able to give you his picks of the week. We will give you our picks of the week at some point during the show as well. But we got way too much to talk about in the world of the NFL. Quarterbacks talking all over the place on media days. A wide receiver that couldn't keep his mouth shut during a stream. And I love this kid, too. I don't understand why. Why are you hanging out with Aiden Ross and Neon? Why? That's going to be the next thing put into contracts, by the way, in the NFL. I can guarantee that. The next thing that they start putting in stipulations and stuff into contracts is you're not allowed to go on some of these streams. You're not allowed to talk on some of these streams because it's just all it's going to do is get you in trouble. We'll get to that in a second. But let's start with the 11-win matchup we have tonight. First time ever, 2 11-win teams will be facing off on Thursday Night Football as the Seattle Seahawks and the Rams get ready to go. No Davante Adams tonight, most likely for the Rams, as we understand, which is going to give the secondary of the Seattle Seahawks a little bit of a break, even though they don't necessarily need it. They're one of the best in the entire NFL, even if some people don't believe it to this point. I think Seattle might end up pulling off this win and taking the division. Winner of this game essentially will take the division. And when you look at what we've seen from Seattle and their body of work, this defense has led them to this 11-win season. Sam Darnold is looking pretty much like Sam Darnold, but I think everybody has the same question. Can he really transition into a quarterback that they can rely on in the playoffs? So we will see. Personally, I'm one of those people that I think you don't want that first round bye, especially if you have a quarterback like this. You're better off continuing your play every single week and keeping the momentum alive rather than taking a week off and hoping and praying that the next week you get the opponent that you want and you somehow keep the momentum alive. I personally, if I see a team like maybe the Denver Broncos or the Seattle Seahawks, and you're on a ridiculous win streak right now, you don't want to stop playing football because the minute you stop playing football is when all the rust starts accumulating. And when the rust accumulates in the playoffs, that's usually when you get busted real early. And then we see a team in there that was a wild card team. And a lot of people in Seattle are going to be very disappointed if that is so the case. But tonight, you're going to get Puka Nacua against Jackson Smith and Jigba, two of the best wide receivers in the game. You got Matthew Stafford against Sam Darnold, and these two incredible defenses led by some young studs. I mean, I can't wait to watch it. This is going to be a great Thursday night football game, in my opinion.
Should be a good game. I've got some fantasy questions. I'm a little nervous to start Seattle's defense after starting them last week against the Colts, and I'm looking around the waiver wire just to see, not only because it's a Thursday game and it's a tough matchup. Not only, you could talk about Davante Adams not probably playing. He's listed highly doubtful, which is, I've never heard of the highly in front of it, but I know McVay was saying he was hoping that he was still going to be able to suit up. I don't think it's probably safe to play him in this game. I know there's some scenarios that this game is important, but it's still the guy that you need in the playoffs. Parkinson's playing well. That's one that I'm also looking at a tight end position because I've got Travis Kelce with Gardner Minshew, which I can think that Minshew's probably going to throw to Kelce a lot. But I do like Parkinson in this game, and the Stafford finds ways to find his open receivers. And with the backfield, like with Kyron and Corum, I don't know if I can trust Seattle's defense.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm kind of on the fence. And we had a couple fantasy questions, but personally, I can go both ways with this game.
The reason I am leaning more with Seattle is the fact that there is one glaring weakness when it comes to the LA Rams, and that's the secondary. Although the first game these two met, the secondary looked great, got a couple interceptions on Sam Darnold. I don't expect that to be the case in Seattle. I think Seattle's going to find a way to make this pass game more versatile and just attack the heck out of these young corners of the Rams. If the Rams front seven can get to Sam Darnold, though, I think that'll be the push that they need in order to help the secondary actually manage arguably the best wide receiver in the NFL right now. That's Jackson Smith and Jigba. And honestly, if I am the Seattle Seahawks, I want to come into this game and attack through the air because you need to gain as much confidence as possible in this quarterback in Sam Darnold. So he also believes that going into the playoffs, that this isn't going to be essentially the same thing we saw last year with the Minnesota Vikings, where they tore it up in the regular season, as I tell you guys they do almost every year outside of this one. And then in the playoffs, it's like they didn't even deserve to be there. So I think that this is the opportune time taking on somebody that is obviously a playoff contender, obviously somebody who's going to be fighting their way to the Super Bowl. If you can somehow beat that team, take the division from them, and gain that confidence, especially with a young quarterback, because Sam is still a young quarterback. He hasn't even reached 30 yet. I think that is the best possible solution for this team and for a brand new coach who has been looking to make his name in the NFC West in one of the best divisions in football. And I know there's a group of fans right now that are really, really hoping that the Rams lose tonight, and that is the San Francisco 49ers, because they still have a chance to win the division as well if they could win out and certain things go their way, including a loss tonight for the Rams. So it is really going to be a telling sign of who is going to step up to take this division away from the other two. And whoever does, it doesn't, in my opinion, it doesn't really matter or it does matter. But going into the playoffs, I think we're going to get a rematch of one of these guys taking on the winner. So it's either going to be Seattle taking the division and the Rams or the Niners coming up to face them, or vice versa. So we're going to see a lot of NFL, NFC West football here in the next couple weeks, especially when the playoffs begin. This entirety of, or I'm sorry, the main star that I'm going to highlight, though, that needs to have a big game for this to go their way, I think it's Kenneth Walker. I think if Kenneth Walker could get consistent on the run game for Seattle, and they can, like I said earlier, somehow mix it up through the air, find ways to get Jackson open, find ways to get the confidence rolling with Sam early, we could be seeing the playoff team for Seattle that they have been waiting for since the Legion of Boom, since the Russell Wilson era, to potentially fight their way back to a Super Bowl. But as of right now, I think everybody can be in agreement here that the only team that we see that could potentially be a Super Bowl candidate right now would probably be the Rams. So we will see how this game goes. This is going to be a fantastic, probably the best Thursday night football game we've seen all year, especially if you're just looking at it on paper. As I said, when we first started, it's the first time ever 2 11-win teams will be facing off in Thursday night football. Now, granted, the likelihood of 2 11-win teams facing off at any point in the season is very unlikely, but this is going to be one of those signs that we finally get to see, okay, what does the NFC have that could potentially compete with one of these AFC teams that are looking fantastic right now, like the New England Patriots, like the Denver Broncos, because that's essentially what this is going to be. Is this is going to show us who's going to be walking out of the NFC this year.
Yeah, and going back to the the Puka story, I mean, now this guy just put a target on him, not only with the league on who he's hanging out with, but taking a shot at the referees, saying, that they are the worst, and a lot of them will throw flags just to get on television during games, because not only are they not full-time referees, that some of them are attorneys, some of them are, have full-time jobs outside of reffing NFL games. So, I mean, I watched the video. I don't know if this guy's just concussed with all the injuries he's had, or if he's just young and silly.
He's
I don't
young.
get it.
I think it's more along the latter. He's young. He's dumb. I mean, he's going through a lot this season as well. All the injuries, as you noted, but he's also going through the personal situation with his ex-girlfriend and all
His
that.
brother,
His brother, exactly.
which I don't even know if we talked about that.
I
But
don't think so. But regardless, if you want to look it up, go for it. Puka has been going through a lot. I love this dude. I don't blame him for wanting to, be more vocal, I guess. But the way he's going about it is dumb. Like I said at the beginning of the show, why are you hanging out with two young streamers who they don't care if you say something like they want you to make something clickbaity for them. Like eh, again, it's just dumb. I personally think the NFL is going to be moving into this new world pretty much with stuff in the contracts like they have already when it comes to doing dangerous stuff in the off season or in their off time. If you didn't know, certain contracts for certain players won't allow them to go, I don't know, skydiving, jet skiing, stuff like that. They're not allowed to do that through contract. If they got injured that way, they could void the entire contract for breaking it. And I think that that's going to be coming when it comes to the streaming stuff. Too many people are going to these streaming sites saying something stupid, you know what I mean? Doing something dumb with these streamers because the streamers are like, "Oh, come on, man. It'd be great for my views. My chat will love it. The kids will love it." And then you have situations like this.
yeah, and I'm sure he'll get a couple fines. One for the comments on the
Mhm,
ref. Two is streaming in the locker room with people. I guess there is certain rules in the NFL where you can't stream.
mhm.
We've both been in locker rooms where they have big signs that say no video
No
recording.
video.
And it's just silly, and I'm sure he'll learn from it. I know Sean McVay talked a little bit yesterday, just saying he's frustrated with the whole situation, but he'll keep it in house, which
Mhm.
that's what you want out of a coach. But yeah, like you said, he's just young, and he's going to learn from it because I'm sure somebody up in the management is going to have a little sit down with the guy.
Oh, 100%. And again, he, like you said, will probably be facing fines for at least his comments about the refs. Those could be expunged regardless. We had Joe Mixon earlier in the season get slapped with a fine, and that got expunged. It is one of those situations, though, where you just can't have this, especially late in the season. You guys are hoping for a playoff run. You're the best receiver that they have. And this type of distraction is only going to anger your teammates. It really is because it also shows where your focus is. We're right around the corner from the playoffs, but you want to go hang out with Aiden Ross and Neon? Really? Like it's different than going to Diamond Gym like AJ went. You know what I mean? At least you're working out. Neon and Aiden Ross are known on the internet for being, God, I wish I could say the word I want to use. They're idiots. They're not well liked guys. I'm sorry. Yes, they have a following, but they're not well liked. And to go on a stream to bring them into the team facilities or try to, and then expect the Rams just to be okay with that? No. Heck no. That's just the dumbest thing on the planet. But again, it's a distraction the Rams don't need. And right now, I just don't know if it's the smartest move to really be bringing those kind of eyes and that kind of attention to your team when you guys are trying to make a Super Bowl run. It's possibly the last Super Bowl run of Matt Stafford's career. Possibly. I'm not going to say it like because personally, I think he stays one more year, especially after this season.
Yeah, I was going to say the way he was
He,
playing.
he looks fantastic. He's playing better than he ever has, in my opinion. But it's one of those things where you bring in this kind of attention, you bring in these eyes, whether you're trying to build your brand or not, just doesn't make sense to me. It really doesn't. Going on McAfee is different than going on a stream with Neon and saying all this stuff about the refs. And to be honest with you, I don't disagree with him when it comes to the refs. I think a lot of the time there is situations where they throw a flag just solely so they can see themselves on television. Because he's right. These guys are human too. Just like everybody else that's playing the game of football, they want to be known for being on the field. But to sit there and say that like certain calls get called, certain PI calls get called just so they can be seen on television, that's ridiculous. There can't be situations where there's no flag at all. I mean, it's dumb to go out there and say on a stream that these guys do this solely so they can get some recognition themselves. Like, that's just a really wild statement. And then to walk it back right afterwards and say, well, these guys are human too. It's like, okay, so do you really mean that? Or are you just saying that for clickbait purposes?
He's trying to clean it up.
Come on, bud. You got to be smarter than that. And like you said, I know you're young and dumb, but this type of stuff, I mean, I'm glad they're handling it in house, but this type of stuff can't be accepted. Honestly, I wouldn't be surprised if he's benched for the first drive of this game. I really wouldn't. Now, will it hurt the Rams? 110%. And that's why he will not be benched for longer than that. But you got to do something to put some teeth into this so he doesn't do this again. That's just my thought. But again, there's a lot of things that have been talked about in the last day and a half in the world of the NFL. We'll get to a whole bunch of quarterback talk as well, because guys like Cam Ward have come out and said they want to be a part of the head coaching search. Personally, I love that. Don't know exactly how the front office is going to bring that in, though. Guys like Geno Smith are going out and saying that they're expecting to win a lot with the team they're on right now. Geno.
Burrow coming out saying crazy things happen when asked about if he's going to be playing for the Bengals in the future. I mean, the Jets are sticking with Brady Cook, even though the other backup quarterbacks are healthy now. It's a lot of talking. Of course, anytime the media is talking about the Dolphins, it's always got to be negative, which I'm used to. I don't care.
Naturally.
And we all knew if Tua didn't clean his game up, he was headed to the bench.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just glad they didn't wait until, whether it's letting McDaniel go. But I know the quarterback too is not happy that Quinn Ewers just kind of leapfrogged him.
Well, I mean, I kind of get why they leapfrogged him, though. We've seen what you can do.
Yeah.
We have no idea what Quinn can do. And they need to find out if they're going to be sticking with you or if they're going to be sticking with him. So.
Or all of them are gone.
Exactly. And we just do a giant fire sale. I get why he'd be upset that he gets jumped, but at the same time, you have to understand you guys don't have a chance at a playoff spot right now. And why not send out the rookie? I mean, I'm kind of in the same boat with the Jets. I get why they would be upset too. I get why Tyrod would be like, really? I'm jumped again? Like, for a rookie? I get it. But I personally understand, though, because you have no shot at a playoff spot. You playing doesn't help at this point. You playing and winning a game for the Jets doesn't help them. What would help them is finding out, one, if Brady Cook is actually a competent quarterback, and two, if they keep losing, they get a better draft pick. So I think right now, it's just like what the fans are complaining about in Cincinnati as well with the playing of Joe Burrow. Should we even be playing Joe Burrow? Because if we keep winning games, our draft pick is going to be awful like it usually is. I mean, I get it.
And if he wants out and he gets himself injured again, then you're just stuck in the sand again.
Exactly. So it's at that point where your season's over. Why not see what spaghetti sticks to the wall, as you say? You know what I mean? Like, why not see if this quarterback who we drafted in the 6th, 7th round is actually going to be worth a damn, even as a backup? Why not? So it's like, I get why you would have frustrations, especially since you've been working just as hard probably this entire season. But you playing doesn't help your team. It really doesn't.
And I mean, contract-wise, you draft a guy like Quinn Ewers in a 7th round, and hopefully he can come out and play
like a Brock Purdy
did. And then all of your, maybe, the majority of your issues is, okay, well, we have a quarterback for the future. Mm-hmm. We're not worried about Tua's contract because we're playing this guy on a rookie deal, and we can do whatever we want with him. And why not?
Well, the weird thing about Tua's contract as well is we're staring down the pike of a $99 million cap hit if they dropped him today.
Yep.
Now, if you wait until after June, it gets spread out. It's a little bit more manageable, but it's still, what was it, like just under 50 or 60 million for the first year,
it's like
30
50
for the second.
Something in the first and 20 plus in the second. Either way, you're gonna have to eat it. You guys are the ones that signed it.
Yeah, this is going to be one of those contracts we look at, like the Russell Wilson contract, where we're sitting there saying, wow, that was dumb 15 years later.
And even NFL guys were coming out and saying, I understand the Dolphins signing the guy to a big contract like that, but really it all stemmed from the Deshaun Watson deal.
Right.
I mean, people weren't paying quarterbacks like that until this whole crazy Deshaun Watson, and it dug some teams like the Dolphins in big holes now. Now they've got to dig themselves out of it.
And you know what's funny is with the Deshaun Watson deal, I think a lot of people were expecting, obviously, Deshaun to play, one, but two, we were expecting at least some sort of kickback from the team saying, oh, no, we're not playing these guys this much. We're not paying these guys ridiculous amounts of money and not know who they are. But no, teams kind of just said, okay, this is the new normal. We're going to have to just do this. And now we're seeing multiple teams get bit in the butt for it. And the one team that didn't really is Cleveland. Because although you really can't do much with a guy who's been injured for the last 2 or 3 years straight, they've just eaten it and kind of moved on. Everybody else is having to deal with the ridiculous cap hit and try to figure something out from there. So it's weird to me that we haven't seen that kickback from an owner or a GM saying, we're not going to do that this time. We're not going to spend $100 million on a guy we aren't 100% sure of. And honestly, if you don't want to blame Deshaun for this, you can go back as far as the Brock Osweiler deal. For those of you who don't remember the Brock Osweiler deal with the Houston Texans years ago. I mean, we've seen the writing on the wall, but where does the levee break with some of these quarterbacks that we're not 100% sold on? You know what I mean? As a Falcons fan, I've been very vocal about the Kirk Cousins contract, but would I be okay with them giving $100 million to Michael Penix? Probably not. Not from what I've seen. So it really is just one of those situations where we are going to have to see one of these GMs step up and say, I'm willing to give that money to somebody who has proven that they could be a starter long term, not to a guy who's only been here for 4 or 5 years. You know what I mean? Like maybe this won't be their second contract. Maybe we'll move into a third contract kind of a thing.
And then now I understand where some teams play the franchise tag and play this and that. But we, before we get into our first guest, we got a couple texts on the topic. The first one says, "Good morning. I agree with your comments about Joe Burrow should be sitting. But what do you think that tells the guys in the trenches that are still risking injury and giving everything that they got? Does it say they aren't as important?"
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I hate to say that, but yes, especially since your play all year long has shown you're not important to a success. And like, don't get me wrong. If we're talking about a guy like Rashawn Slater, if we're talking about a guy like, I don't know, Joe Alt, this is a completely different conversation. But it's like I highlighted yesterday and the day before when it comes to the Cincinnati Bengals. I don't want to see a single offensive lineman complaining about a dang thing because you guys have barely done your job all year long. So yeah, that honestly, unfortunately, tells everybody, yeah, you're not as important as a Joe Burrow because you're not. I mean, it's a rough world out there, but that is the truth.
It's a business.
It is exactly what it is. Now, if you were a top guy at your position, then I would say bench him too. Don't even play him.
Yeah.
Because there's no point. But to be honest with you, there's nobody on Cincinnati's team that I can honestly say that about outside of maybe Jamar Chase.
And Zach Taylor came out, saying that we want to win these games. And he's obviously, I think he's playing for his job.
Yes, 100%. 100%.
So they go out in Miami and lose to a 7th round draft pick with a depleted roster,
which is entirely possible.
With no number one receiver. They've already lost several players. One of their number one corners is already ruled out. I mean, if Burrow comes out and lays an egg again this week, then there's going to be some more bigger questions that we've been talking about for months.
Mm-hmm.
But I think it's the same thing. I mean, if every team that was eliminated in the last couple of weeks just started benching players, then we have a whole different situation where players are starting to complain like, okay, and fans that go buy tickets to see the game, originally this Miami-Cincinnati game was supposed to be a primetime game.
Right.
And if it wasn't for their poor play this year, they wouldn't have got, flexed out. But that's a great question and comment. I understand it. I have a buddy that's a Bengals fan, and he's upset because he believes personally that Burrow's gone.
I honestly kind of agree with him. I don't know if it's 26. And I was going to highlight as well when we got to Joe that there are comments within what he said yesterday that signify that he is not retiring anytime soon. He doesn't want to. He wants to play long term like a Peyton Manning, like a Tom Brady. He wants to be up in his 40s when he's playing still. but he's just highlighting that he wants to have fun while playing, which is a fair thing to say, in my personal opinion. But I mean, what has Cincinnati done to really keep him there? You know what I mean? I would agree that, I don't want to see him leave Cincy, but at the same time, I'm sitting here thinking kind of like the Matthew Stafford situation. What have you done to help him?
Everything he asked for.
I mean, true. That I will not deny. You have at least given him what he wants in that area. But at some point, like I said a couple of days ago, when it came to that, you got to be able to tell him, no, we need to fix something else first.
Yeah, when he brought up the T. Higgins, it's like, hey, dude, maybe honestly, if we have some change after we build you an offensive line and a defense.
And honestly, you could take the Detroit Lions as an example and use it with him. Hey, that sounds like a good idea. But let's also remember the time the Detroit Lions had Matthew Stafford and Calvin Johnson. The two of them looked fantastic together, but the team record was god-awful. So what looks better, Joe? A group of guys that can get you to the playoffs at the very least, or you with two wide receivers and the three of you look good? What sounds better? Like, somebody has to be that middleman to look at Joe in the face and say, look, man, we love you and we want to give you what you want, but we got to do what's best for the team. And if that is the case and he doesn't like that, then sorry, tough cookie. But he's also not your GM. We run into this problem across sports in general. Everybody gives LeBron grief for being the GM. And how often has that worked out for LeBron? How often has LeBron going to the front office and saying, I want my homie here playing with me? How often did that work? Very, very, very little. I promise you. So somebody's got to be able to step up, look these athletes in the face and say, let us do our part. You do your part. And we're all going to have fun. I promise. But until Cincinnati actually steps up and shows me that, I have to agree. I think Joe's gone. Joe, and whether that's from his own decisions or not, doesn't matter at this point, because now all of it's going to look bad on you for folding. That's essentially where we're at.
Is that going to be including, Zach Taylor?
Yep.
Is that going to be obviously Hendrickson? I mean, that could be a whole different team.
So
and Jamar Chase came out saying, I'm doing everything I can to keep this guy upright, yes, and his mindset.
And that's all he can do. But again, if it's not fun for him playing there, it's not going to matter. All he's going to do is turn around and say, well, we could have a lot more fun playing in New York. We could have a lot more fun playing for the Rams. We could have a lot more fun playing together on this team, that team, the other team.
Come to Miami.
I mean, that's also a possibility at this point. I could see Joe in Miami. I definitely could. Now, Joe has come out and said that he can't see himself playing anywhere besides Cincinnati in 26. But like he also said, and Sparky has highlighted multiple times in this conversation, he also said crazy things happen every year. So he's open to the idea of being moved. He has a no trade clause through, I believe, 2029. So he gets to decide where he goes.
It's so wild, dude.
I mean, all of this, again, Cincinnati was thinking they were setting up a contract through 2032 that was going to keep Joe Burrow there. But in the end of it all, spending $275 million on him and an extra $100 million plus on both of his two favorite receivers.
And what's funny is we talked about this in the offseason.
Yep.
I mean, that was one of the big teams that we talked about is, the Bengals have all sorts of talent. What was the thing you always said? The Bengals are going to have to put up 50 points
in order
to win a 50-45 game.
Exactly.
Because that defense wasn't built for an NFL game.
And you don't even have a run game really to help you. So it literally is 50 points on the back of Joe Burrow, who is a talented quarterback. But Cincinnati has to be at least realistic in saying, okay, we made mistakes. We folded when we shouldn't have. And now you're going to lose probably your franchise players because of it and have to restart. Every team goes through this, but that is the road you have paved. And now you have to live with it. That is the bed you made. So we're going to be sitting here waiting and watching as Cincinnati most likely goes through a fire sale. We'll most likely see Trey Hendrickson moved on from. We'll most likely see Joe Burrow moved on from at some point next season. We'll probably see Jamar Chase at some point right after him, because I highly doubt Jamar is going to stick around and play for a team where his best friend's not there anymore. So I'm not sure exactly how this is going to end for the Bengals, but it can't be good. It
And
just can't.
the same guy says, "Do I go with Parkinson tonight? I know he's been playing hot, or should I roll with Kincaid or Kelsey this week?"
Nah, I'd go Parkinson. Parkinson has 6 touchdowns in 6 weeks. He had 2 last week against the Lions, and with Adams out, like I said yesterday, there's going to be a lot of targets being passed around. Parkinson's going to definitely be on that short list of guys who's going to get more looks. So I would not be surprised if he makes it 7 in 7 weeks.
Well, we'll get to your other text. Our guest, his firewall is breaking or
Uh-oh.
blocking his entrance, so we might not have a guest until 8 o'clock, which is fine for me because we've got plenty to talk about
Oh
right
yeah.
here on the Early Bird Special.
Welcome back. Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 1230 AM. We are also streaming video every single day on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch. You can also find that video stream at our website of kgeo.com. It'll be right there. If you scroll down, you'll see a little YouTube link. Go ahead and click it. You can like, share, subscribe, all that type of good stuff. Join us every single day from 7 to 9, talking all things sports. Feel free to text or call, or I'm sorry, text in, not call in, 661-842-2000. Or if you're on YouTube and Twitch, you can feel free to comment down below. We will see your comments and get to them as soon as possible. Let's shift over real quick to a different quarterback story. We talked extensively about the Joe Burrow situation and what his future looks like. Cam Ward of the Tennessee Titans is trying to make sure his future in the NFL actually works out. And I kind of agree with him, but he has come out and said that he wants to be hands-on when it comes to the head coaching choice of the Tennessee Titans going forward. He would like to meet every single coach that is going to be given an opportunity to be given an interview in order to give his assessment of who would best suit the team going forward and helping the Tennessee Titans kind of rekindle what they had success, or when they had success rather, with Coach Vrabel years ago. Spark, how do you feel about this? Personally, I'd like this move. I think more young quarterbacks should have a hand in what coach comes in, because they're going to be key in that quarterback's development overall.
Definitely. I think a lot of teams have swung and missed on this this area, because I know we've seen a lot of young quarterbacks that thought they were the future of this team and invested in, buying homes for their families. And, I just don't know if, I mean, obviously them taking him at one, they see a future with the kid. I just don't know if it's going to start with the GM, if they believe in the kid, because we've seen crazier things with, the Titans. I think for the future of the team, if it's my team, I want my stars in that room, investing in what they think it would fit their style, the future of the team. But I mean, if it was any other team, I would say, of course, it's a lock. But I don't know with the Titans, man. I don't understand why they let Vrabel go in the first place.
True.
I still will stick on that, because Vrabel, if he wasn't to take that year off, look at what he's done with the Patriots. I get it. They have a easier schedule because of the year before, and we'll see. The real test is, this is their chance. But I wish a lot more teams would do that. I don't think Tua would be sitting on a $250 million guaranteed contract if more people like that was involved. If it wasn't like the drama inside the building with management. And we saw the same thing with, I mean, we talked about the Giants, the Browns, the Browns with the owner and the coach on different pages on what quarterback was their future. And now it looks like, one's probably going to be looking for a job in this offseason.
100%. And honestly, like you were just mentioning, if Brian Flores was allowed to say anything when Tua was there, I don't think Tua would have got that contract, let alone be on the Miami Dolphins for this long. But
Miami took the easy route and found an offensive-minded coach that would buy into it.
Yep.
And look what that's got us.
Yes. And honestly, it's another man that'll be fighting for his job here at the end of this season. Personally, think if he could win out, it actually might save him. But does he really want to stay there? I mean, God only knows.
I cannot read that guy.
I really can't either. I mean, there are moments where it looks like he really loves being the head coach of the Miami Dolphins, especially when you see him sprinting off the field with, joking
Smiling
with the camera. Yeah.
I'm like, dude, if this guy's smiling,
there are moments during post-game pressers where he is stuttering more than a pre-K kid with a camera in front of his face and
Tourette's,
has no answer.
I can't. I love the guy, but I really wish there was a way to keep the guy as an offensive coordinator.
Yes. I mean, I've been thinking about that more and more every time you keep saying it. I have never seen it in the NFL.
Me either.
Never seen a coach be kept solely because they are a great offensive or defensive mind after losing the head coaching job. And I don't know if that's necessarily a personal preference or if that is more of just them saying, hey, we really can't have a power struggle You know what I mean? Like, you can't have the guy that used to be the head coach and running everything still there while the new guy is trying to set a new culture.
You would think that would be a good situation.
Right.
You would think,
You would think.
hey, this guy knows the players. He already has a relationship with the 90% of the offensive guys. We're going to move you a little over to the chair to the right of you.
Right.
But, I mean, the guy at McDaniel, just speaking of McDaniel, I think he's got an offensive coordinator job in a lot of places. He's not going to be looking for a job very long.
Going back to San Francisco would probably be a best move for him, even though Kyle Shanahan doesn't need another guy helping him with the offense at all.
Yeah.
But again, it's like, I also think that the media has a hand in it as well, because obviously, the mutiny thing, part of it, you know what I mean? Like, if let's say we did, let's say Miami decided, okay, we're going to keep Mike. Mike decided he wants to stay as an offensive coordinator, but we're going to go and re-sign Brian Flores as our head coach. Again, just throwing the name out there, doesn't matter. I think all year long, we would be hearing people on ESPN, Dan Orlovsky, Chris any of them, Evan Cohen, all these guys are going to be going off saying, when is the levee going to break? When are they finally going to get fed up with this guy and say, no, we want that guy? Or, you know what I mean?
It just reminds me, I watched the episode of The Office last night when they had Mike and them and they were co-managers.
Great example. Okay. I know it's television, but TV imitates reality. Okay. When you have two managers, there's always going to be a problem, because half of the office is going to go one way, the other half is going to go the other way.
Their style against their style.
Exactly. Which one works better? And then when the two styles clash, everybody loses because nobody actually gets anything done. So I get why we don't see it, but I think there are certain situations, much like Miami, where McDaniel would be a great offensive coordinator for them. I think Brian Daboll would have been a better situation as an offensive coordinator for the Giants too, instead of just firing him outright. And we're talking about a quarterback wanting to be, hands-on with his next coach. I don't think there was a better relationship than Brian Daboll and Jackson Dart, but here we are. And that's why I have to agree with you that when it comes to teams right now that are dumpster fires, okay, the Tennessee Titans, the New Orleans Saints, the Jets, all of these teams need to have that kind of relationship between the coach and whatever star you want to build around, whether it's the quarterback, the wide receiver, the defensive end, does not matter. If you do not have that cohesion and that ability to work with each other and develop, your team's going to suck.
Yeah. In a dream world, I would hire Gruden as a GM.
100%.
Bring over Flores, put down McDaniel to the offensive coordinator, and even keep our defensive coordinator.
Mm-hmm.
And let it work out. Everyone just goes to Gruden.
At the point, defensive coordinator wise for Miami, at least you like his personality and his mindset, right? He wants his team to go out there like a Dan Campbell and bite kneecaps off. That's what he wants. He wants that type of tenacious defense. Does it show up every week? No. But that's what they need. And that's why I agree with you. There are certain qualities for each of these head coaches that are probably going to be on the hot seat, if not fired, that I've said a million times over. I think Zach Taylor is a fantastic offensive coordinator. I think Mike McDaniels is a fantastic offensive coordinator. I don't see them as a head coach, though. And sometimes that is just the case. And you've heard me say it on this show many times. I think multiple NFL teams need that these days. You have to have a head coach who could be seen as a fantastic coordinator at whatever position they prefer, defense or offense, and a guy that takes care of the other side of the ball that's equally as good. That's going to get you to the playoffs, if not to a Super Bowl. We've seen it many times over, even going back as far as the Patriots. Bill Belichick, fantastic defensive mind. And yes, he always had defensive proteges underneath him at the defensive coordinator position. Your Matt Patricias, your Vrabels, your whatever, doesn't matter. But he's always had that guy, a McDaniels, right next to him. And honestly, you could look at it right now with the Patriots, with Vrabel now as the head coach, handling the defense, McDaniel handling the offense. Success, regardless of who you're playing. So I think at the end of the day, that's really what we need to highlight with these teams is y'all got to stop focusing on just getting a head coach. You need to focus on getting a coaching staff.
And it looks like our guest did jump in. So we've got Charles Krausen over at Wal-Mart that can help us with our last minute Christmas shopping. I'm guilty.
I'm guilty. I did all mine yesterday, but I'm sure there's a handful of things I can find at Wally World.
Well, I get paid Friday, so I'm waiting to the last minute. I know Saturdays, that what they call Super Saturday,
Yep.
is where a lot of our guys will wait until the last minute. So, Charles, how are you this morning?
Uh-oh. Give me 1 sec. I'm gonna see if I can throw him in here. It
But
might be
no,
better off.
if you're like me, I've got a 16-year-old that will give me, I don't know, what do you want for Christmas? I don't know.
It's not even the kids, dude. The kids are easy for me. It's the parents. When you hear a family member or a mom or something like that, that just like, hey, what do you want for Christmas? It is
I didn't need
never. Oh
anything,
yeah,
babe.
it's exactly this. We're always trying to figure it out. Mr. Crossan, real quick. It seems like your mic might not be connected. If you can go to your settings real quick and reconnect that might be the issue here.
While he's doing that, we're going to take our
Yes.
final break of the hour, and we'll be right back right here on KGO
KGO
Sports Talk.
Welcome back. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGO Sports Talk 101.1 FM 1230 AM. Real quick, it is the Christmas time, so most of you are probably late in your gifts as we are. We're sitting here talking with Charles Crossan, the Senior Director of the Wal-Mart Home Services Department. Sir, can you hear us now? Are we good?
Guys, I can hear you. Isn't technology great?
And that's what I keep saying
Technology.
every single day, man. Every single day. But thank you for joining us via video. We really appreciate
It never
it.
fails. Guys,
Uh,
good morning.
Good morning. Real quick, because we are short on time, real quick, and I want to make sure you get everything out. So, what does Walmart have for people like us who are notoriously late shoppers
Of
for
course.
Christmas?
We have got a complete game changer for you guys. You remember how it used to be. We would go to the store on Christmas Eve fighting everyone. There was a movie about it too, like Jingle All the Way or all that stuff.
Mhm.
We don't do that anymore. You
Gotta
can
go
now
get
take
Turbo Man.
advantage of exactly. Gotta get Turbo Man. We now have Walmart delivery. We have 3 different types of Walmart delivery you can now take advantage of ordering through walmart.com. And this is the great part about it. You got same day delivery. That's where you can pick a window between 6 a.m. and 10 p.m. Get your items delivered right then. Never leave the comfort of your house, or in your case, the studio. And we got on demand delivery. That's 3 hours. Again, pick a window. You're there. You're good to go. But here's the game changer for you. We've got express delivery, which is delivery up to 30 minutes. I have tested this on multiple occasions. One time at 9 o'clock at night, I got my package in 22 minutes.
How does
So
that happen? Do you guys have drones?
That's what I was
or-
just
we
gonna ask.
use, well, we're not there yet. We're getting close, but we're not there yet. We use our stores as DCs. So if Bakersfield has 4
Hmm.
super centers, and I'm just guessing, then you can then use that to get it to your home, pick the store closest to you, get the item there. On
Okay.
Christmas Eve, if you're using Walmart Express Delivery, you can make that order up to 5 p.m. and you'll get it within an hour.
Wow.
So,
Okay.
so how do we get this Walmart
Yeah,
set Express?
Is it part of the
Go to-
Walmart Plus thing or?
Part of the Walmart Plus. It's one part of the Walmart Plus offerings. Go there, check it out, walmart.com. Click on Walmart Plus, become a member. There is a fee to
Mhm.
be a member, but the returns and benefits of that membership far outweigh the cost of this an annual subscription of about $100 a year.
Oh, 100%. And honestly, as somebody who I frequent Walmart all the time, especially when it comes to my grocery shopping,
Thank you.
you're welcome. I am a big proponent that you guys gave me the greatest gift of all time when it came to COVID, and that was the drive up pickup option. And the fact that you guys now deliver within 30 minutes, that is incredible. I don't even think Amazon could get you your gifts faster.
No.
So
I'm
that's
not going to get into who can or can't, but I don't think anyone can beat us.
No, 100%. Nobody can beat Wally World. Come on now. Walmart is the king of all things. You have
I
to
love
go.
hearing that from the Inland Empire. That's awesome.
I'm just saying. Well, sir, I mean, anything else that we need to know in order to get these Christmas gifts out? I know we're very short on time, so
Yeah, I apologize for that.
No. Don't apologize. Don't apologize. We understand completely. But do you have anything else that you guys are wanting to pop
Yeah.
up real
What
quick?
are the rollback prices this holiday
Yeah,
season?
absolutely.
Well, here's the thing we got for you guys. You guys are talking about wives having difficulty knowing what the wife wants, what the husband wants, that partner, what they want. It's not the kids, it's the adults.
No, the kids know exactly what they want.
Televisions, always big. Vizio, all different sizes. The 65-inch TV right now is the best thing going out there. We still have plenty in stock. Check that out. But we also carry Drew Barrymore's beautiful line of appliances, crock pots, coffee makers, items like that. Those are doing really well right now. That could be for the loved one who likes to be in the kitchen cooking. You can take care of them there. Those are hard to keep in. Now, for the toys, you guys ever heard of Fugglers?
No. What is that?
They're like Labubus, but even uglier.
Oh God. Is that what the new craze is? All the kids just want something ugly? Is that what this is?
I did not believe it until they told me. I said, and I saw it, I'm like, what is
I'm not
that?
gonna lie to you, I thought Sparky had to hit the dump button when you said
was
that.
like,
I was like,
what?
what is
Well,
that?
that was a different conversation that happened after I found out they were called Fugglers.
Well, we appreciate your time, Charles. Keep in touch, and
Thank
I hope
you.
you have a happy holiday. We'll talk to you very soon.
Absolutely.
Be well, guys.
Thank you so much. We got to take a break. On the other side, we will get to our rest of our guests of the day. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk. Welcome back. Early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk, 101.1 FM, 1230 AM. I'm Chris Burdick. That's Sparky. And our guy, Anthony Jauregui, is in here, just
Jory
not
guy.
in goth makeup. My guy.
Dude.
Thank you for putting my music on. This gets me in the mood to cut my arms and my wrists.
Oh my gosh. Last night, it was a rough, long day, and I got to see that video last night, and I lost it.
And I got, if you don't know what we're talking about, go to our Instagram right now. It should still be up on the story.
It is.
I swear I thought that was AI. I thought someone had made an AI video of you as a goth.
That was all you?
Oh, no. He tells me apparently it was a filter.
No. That was, dude. That was off air. Come on, on air. That was totally me, guys. That was
that was a video from back when he was in high school.
Yeah, that was me in my MCR days. That's
my MCR days are still today.
So. Yeah. Hey. I like it. I like the black. It's slimming. No. Hey.
You pulled it off.
Hey, thank you, dude. I have a lot of experience straightening my hair. So
there you go.
I was like, is that what happened when you got off the wrong exit? I was like, this fool's doing his makeup, man.
Yeah, I was putting my black toenail polish on. I wanted my feet to look good before the show. If you guys are listening, I have Birkenstocks on and the puppies are out. Oof.
Oh,
yeah.
God.
Every time we talk to you, it's got to have something to do with feet. I'm telling you.
There's going to be complaining about it later this afternoon. Why does the studio smell like this?
You know, Anthony the comedian was in here, and he brought his own feet this time.
So, is the news correct? Is there open mic?
Are we back?
The news is correct. The
Okay.
open mic is back at, I don't know what accent this is.
Timber.
Yeah, it's back at Timber.
Nice.
Yeah, baby, we are back. I
So-
had to do a little bit of fighting.
I was going to say, what happened? Did you have to beat somebody?
So basically, Daniel Betts and I, we kissed and made up, and I'm not
Aw.
talking. I'm
That's my
talking.
boy.
Yeah,
It takes about a week in order to get over losses like that.
It
right?
does, and we kind of basically had another wager because if you guys don't know, I know this is basically turning into an NFC North talk show.
Right.
It
but,
is what it is.
yeah, so the Packers and the Bears are playing this Saturday again, and essentially, I told Daniel Betts, "Hey, let's do another bet. We'll do one more open mic, and if the Packers lose, I will step out as host. I'll step away from the Well Comedy Club. I won't be associated with your
Security.
business anymore." And you know how quick he took that bet?
Shit.
He called Ryan Poles himself, and he's like, "I need you to do whatever you can to win this game. I'm tired of seeing Anthony's face." So I listen, guys. If you want me back at the open mics every Thursday for the Well Comedy Club at Timber Brewing Company, then you have to pray for the Green Bay Packers to win.
I'm hoping because I'm in a couple fantasy playoffs, and I've got
go.
Josh Jacobs. I need him to go off. So-
Listen, I'm sorry you have Josh Jacobs because
Why?
I'm in the championships right now, and the guy I'm going against has
That's
Josh
Oh, you got
Jacobs.
Josh Jacobs.
So
You can't.
I'm
That's
not.
where you have to draw the line. Your team and then fantasy.
It's hard. It's a really hard feeling right now because I'm like I know he's been having a knee injury, and I'm like, Josh, just take the week off.
Oh yeah, he didn't practice all last week and then scores 2 touchdowns. I was like, yes.
Don't remind me, dude. And one of them was what? Did you see how he mossed that dude, the wide receiver play? It was like not wide receiver play, but
Got
he
his
ran
toes in. Yeah.
around. Yeah. Ooh,
And that was his
speaking of,
first
yeah.
receiving touchdown of the year.
Yeah.
He doesn't
yeah.
get a lot of receptions in general,
I was
which is
surprised.
shocking to me. He's great at when he catches the ball.
That's
in open
literally
field.
the first time I've seen him catch like a ball like that before.
Right.
I thought he just like ran and like egged dudes on to come hit him, you know?
I don't know why there's just this weird stereotype around power running backs that they can't catch a football. Because I mean, Derrick Henry, it's the same thing. It's like, no, he could catch, and when you get him in open field, he'll definitely make a corner look stupid.
I guess it's kind of like, are you going to have an offensive tackle go run a route? It's like, you have what you're good at, dude.
Look,
just do that.
I don't
you
know. The Pittsburgh Steelers have taught us one thing this year. It is that a tackle can play tight end.
A defensive tackle at that.
Yes.
And yeah. And,
Washington, and they throw him the ball.
I love how you see those things. Aaron Rodgers is just he's just standing like this, like while the play's going on.
Don't
and like,
touch me.
Yeah, it's like, don't touch me, boys.
yeah. I love that.
He is. That entire thing with the Pittsburgh Steelers, though, I still don't believe in this team. I still just not believing Pittsburgh can actually do anything.
It feels kind of like a high school reunion team, you know. It's
a little
like,
bit, yeah.
Not, but like you got everyone in their heyday. Like you got dudes that won Super Bowls in here, dudes that you know.
Let's make the comp here real quick, though, because the Packers are one of the youngest teams in the NFL. To be fair,
yeah.
And I mean, both sides of it can kind of have their good things and their bad things, I guess. But I'm looking at it like both of you guys have kind of had your inconsistencies where it makes me believe that I don't know. I'm just well, don't you start the 6-7 thing. Don't you do that on this show. No. 8-9. No.
These nuts.
That you can do. That's a millennial thing.
21.
But like, how do you feel going into this game? Because obviously you need a win against Chicago.
Listen, man, I don't know if this is how all you. It's hard for you guys because this is your business. You're on KGEO Sports Talk, and you have to talk about it. When my team loses, I put the goth makeup on. I hide in the closet. I don't look at TV. I don't pay attention to media.
We're listening to Falling in Reverse. In the kitchen,
I'm listening to AFI, everything, dude. As I lay dying, literally, I can't even put the media on after the Packers lose because I feel like everyone's talking about my ex-girlfriend, or like everyone's just like everyone's up there and they're like saying things about my team, and I'm just like sitting there taking it. I just feel, I don't know if I could say. I'm not gonna say that word.
If you don't know, just don't do it.
Hold off on saying it.
We've already had one comic slip this week.
I heard it. I was listening. I saw you
know
guys'
that guy?
Oh, look, man.
Oh yeah, I know him. I know him well. Yeah,
we move on from it. But
yeah.
As it sits right
I
now,
wanted to ask another comment more about that guy because I don't know if I could say it on the radio, but
hey, if you know you can't, if you have a question about it, just don't even say.
How was the show Monday?
I listened to it. I listened regularly to your show.
Oh, no,
open
he
mic.
meant the open mic.
Did you go out there?
We know you listen to the show. We appreciate that.
Thank you.
But
Did you go out
open
there?
Mic. Not really. No appearance from Anthony Jauregui this week.
I'm not making any appearances, and I'm not referencing that mic on
that
Mondays
group
anymore.
That group.
The hate right now that's coming from the NFC.
The
North,
only mic
man.
that matters because the social media is better than the comedy. Yeah,
I will say I'm a big Timber guy, so if it wasn't for the Well Comedy Club opening, that's where I used to have to go for comedy shows. So I love all the staff over at Timber. The food is awesome. And I'm looking forward to Betts is going to be on next week after this game. So I'm sure we'll get the other side.
You, dude, as soon as we find a Vikings fan, the minute I find a Vikings fan, I'm doing a panel. Because at this point, all of you just come on the show just to talk about each other's teams. So we might as well have all four of you at the same time.
That's the best part.
Yeah, we should. And loser has to eat a block of cheese. Yeah,
on the radio.
On the radio, and can't get up. And if you get up, and
So I want to tell you something silly that happened to me yesterday, and maybe I'm not the only old guy that didn't know this was going on. But I wanted a coffee yesterday. I'm not a big coffee drinker, so I don't know the coffee spots besides Reverb Coffee.
You already know where he's going.
I already know Reverb, and that's bomb. But I can't wait because I'm on the air when they open. So I got in my truck yesterday, and I was like, I don't want gas station coffee. I want something iced coffee. I don't go to Starbucks because I don't know how to order. So I go across the street and I pull up in the drive-thru, and these chicks just open the window. Good morning, and they're all in swimsuits. I was like, "What? Where did I go?" And I came back, and everybody's, "Oh, you went to Bottoms Up. I didn't. You don't know?" Okay.
Of course not. Of
So
course not.
Is this something you've heard about?
I'm gonna plead the fifth.
Okay. I had no idea. I had a couple of friends that said, "Yeah, dude, I went to Bakersfield Christian, and they were right across the street from there." And I was like, "Really?"
Yeah, they do
Location,
some recruiting.
location.
Yeah. No, I have heard of Bottoms Up.
Okay, so I'm the old man that.
No, you're not old. You're not old.
No.
You're just sophisticated, and you have a church group, and you have morals.
That's exactly what I said.
You have good things going for you in your life.
See, he was attacking my standards. I was saying, man, I just don't have that great of morals. I don't know what to tell you. I'm upfront about that.
Well, now I'm going back every morning, and I was like, "Good morning, guys." I got my mug.
He's got his rewards card ready to go.
My buddy Marcos Alvarez, and I'm going to quote him because he had this great joke about Bottoms Up, and essentially it was that he doesn't drink coffee. He was visiting his brother, and his brother took him to a coffee spot. They show up, the girl opens the door, and she's in a bikini, and then he looks at his brother looks at him. He's like, "Do you want anything?" And he's like, "No, I don't drink coffee." And his brother says, "Neither do I." And he tips her. They just leave. So
nice.
if you're looking for a little pick me up in the morning, and I'm not talking about coffee,
Yeah, that's definite pick me up.
or even any time of the day, if that's your speed.
And
I
they're
don't even
open.
think a little blue pill will help you get up more than that.
They're
who
open at
to who?
4:30 in the morning, so I don't know if they ever close.
I heard that they have lines outside the door like they used to have Black Friday sales. You know,
I believe it.
They have people camped outside pitching a tent.
I believe it. So, with the open mic back on Timber at Timber, what time's the show tonight?
The show tonight is at 7 p.m. It's at 7 p.m. guys. Come
And it
check
could
it
be
out.
the final one.
And could potentially of the year, honestly, of the year, because even then, if of ever, because this could be the last time you ever see me hosting an open mic for the comedy club or in general, because if the
You must
Packers
be on
lose,
Betts' bad side
Yeah,
right now,
I
man. You
can't
gotta be
wait
on
to
the
hear
bad
from Betts,
list.
dude.
I should show you some of
He's
these
just
text
waiting for the day he
messages.
don't have to pay you anymore.
Exactly. He acts all innocent, but let me tell you what, if I showed this to the Better Business Bureau,
Maybe shutting it down before they open.
yeah,
Oh,
I think someone
Lord.
would be getting a call. Yeah. No, I think it's just a fierce rivalry between the Packers
Oh,
and the
100%.
Bears, and then the Bears are going to be the Indiana Bears now anyway. So
I was
I was
going to
just
bring
gonna
that
say
up.
that.
yeah,
I was actually going to bring that up. What are your thoughts on that? Because they have been looking for a new location for this stadium forever. And how can you have Chicago in Indiana? You know what I mean? I don't see how
I
that
feel like
works.
it's getting really highlighted because it's a new stadium, but so many other teams do this.
Yes. all the
Santa
time.
Clara. I mean, in San Francisco,
See, they didn't leave the state, though.
Okay,
They didn't leave the whole state.
but their
of
state is so
Illinois.
small that you drive 20 minutes and you're in another state. Our state is so vast and large that 16 hours you're still in the same state.
Fair.
So they're kind of pathetic that you travel 15 minutes and you're in another state, basically. But it's like Arlington Heights is the Dallas Cowboys. The Los Angeles Rams and the Los Angeles Chargers is in Inglewood.
Mhm.
New Jersey.
You're 2 lights away from the hood.
Yeah,
over
basically. Yeah, I got robbed down there. Yeah,
I believe it. I got the first time I took my son and my wife down to a show, and we got an Airbnb, thinking, it's close. It'll be nice.
Yeah.
We got in there. It was the hood, and my
Oh,
son's
yeah.
like, "What?
He's like,
Are
all
we
I packed
staying
is
here?
blue jackets.
Are we staying here?" And I'm like, "Yeah."
That's why I laughed that UCLA wants to move to SoFi so bad. It's like
Oh,
all
right.
you expensive ass people trying to go to SoFi every single week for a football game. That'll stop real quick.
For real.
That'll
And
stop real quick.
UCLA is already beautiful. I mean, like, why would you want to leave there? I feel like.
Well, they're at the Rose Bowl, which
are they?
yeah, they play at the Rose Bowl,
Oh, I
which
didn't
is
know that. Okay.
Pasadena. if you
Yeah,
wanna-
which is
again.
also nice.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty. That's pinky up. Yeah,
But that's the whole point of why they want to leave is because it's so far away from the college that they feel like the fans don't go to the games as much as they would
yeah.
if it was closer. But the location of SoFi doesn't make it any better.
right.
You're still going to be smack dab in the middle of the hood for the most part.
Yeah, I think it's just like they want to make some sort of effort to look like they're trying.
Yeah.
But we know that they don't want to move, right? They're still going to be at the Rose Bowl, right? I mean,
Well, I don't know.
Money talks.
Yeah, and honestly, at this point,
Troy Aikman.
they do. Yeah, that's a good point. They do say that at least the Rose Bowl facilities are still pretty old and run down, even though they have put in money to actually fix them up in the past couple of years. So I think they're more looking at everybody else's stadiums getting these modern day renovations, and the locker rooms look all nice with lounge chairs and stuff like that now, and you can't do that at the Rose Bowl.
Yeah, the Green Bay Packers, he's got like a new locker room and stuff, and like they have like those they have LED like strip lights.
Exactly.
They're like, is that really what?
Is it necessary?
Is that what we
Ambiance,
need, folks?
baby.
Is that yeah?
I
get
wasn't
it.
for those lights.
You need a. I know. Listen, I like the lights you got
First
going
game
on
you
here.
guys lose, someone runs in, take these damn things down.
Yeah. Take that duck down, or that chick we have in the locker room. We don't need it. Wouldn't you hate to lose and then come into the locker room and see like a giant Easter bunny or whatever
Right.
it was? Like, it's like, get that.
Well, I mean, we've gone to multiple Raider games now in the locker rooms and stuff, and the post-game spread that these guys get is incredible.
God.
But I am honestly surprised that doesn't get destroyed more often, especially when teams lose really, really bad.
Oh, yeah.
I would expect like a team leader like Max Crosby just to come in and flip the table and say, nobody's eating today, and walk away.
No one's getting these
No one's
PB&J
getting
and
dang
Uncrustables.
thing.
Yeah.
That's a nice spread.
It is a very nice spread.
What well, quit teasing.
I mean, we even in the media side, the game I went to was the Monday night game against the Cowboys. So when I go up there, and my buddy JR, he's the one that set the whole thing up, and he's like, "Don't eat lunch today.
Okay.
We'll get there early." So we get there 4 or 5 hours early, and they already had like the mashed potatoes, the veggies. They got a full
buffet,
fridge
so,
of drinks, and then they had like Monday Night Football cookies that were, created for that game.
Wow.
And you can go back.
Yeah, personalized
Yeah,
donuts.
we should have
from
the
Pink's.
caterer start as quarterback too,
They've got
because it sounds like the
a whole
only people
venting
killing it
or
in there.
vending area where you
Dude.
can just go grab licorice, go grab Skittles.
I
go grab
understand
this.
why media people stay about 4 or 5 hours
yeah.
after the game. It's because the spread doesn't stop until they leave.
But see the difference going into the locker room afterwards, because you have to wait. There's a whole elevator. You have to wait until the coaches and the players go up and down. So he goes to the Raiders side. I go the long mile walk over to the wayside, and I'm going into the Dallas area, and they had a full Sizzler spread. There was sushi, there was steak, there was everything you could think of. And one of the players, Darnell Ellerby, was the one. He told me that they actually get to pick what is on that line.
Wow.
So he said the defense gets to pick 3, special teams gets to pick 3, and the offense gets to pick 3. So there's a line of the buffet. I was like, damn. Like you're short on money on eating. Like
I feel like if you're losing that much, you lose your privileges to pick.
That's what I'm saying.
It's like, yo, you're 2 and 15.
We're talking about earlier this year, the Baltimore Ravens ripping out all the fun stuff out of their locker room. Why don't you rip it out of anything?
And look
else?
at how it turned out for them. They're still losing.
Oh, well. Right. A storyline that I have to throw out there just because I heard it on McAfee yesterday and it made me perplexed. But did you hear this entire thing that the Packers didn't want J.J. Watt when he was trying to play there?
I did, and I remember it when it was a thing. Yeah.
For those people who have no idea what I'm talking about, J.J. Watt went on the Pat McAfee show yesterday, and I don't know how the conversation started, but it got brought up, when JJ was leaving Houston and going to Arizona and the teams he wanted to play for in that instance and who he told his an agent who he wanted to play for. And the one team where he said, I don't care how little they want to pay me, I will take a hometown discount to go play for them, was the Green Bay Packers, because obviously JJ being from Wisconsin, playing at Wisconsin, just kind of made sense. And the Packers said, nah.
Now we're good.
Yeah. Nah. I think that's low key. I like that power move. Just because
it's JJ.
Listen. I'm telling you, here, I'm gonna give you
you can't tell me that y'all wouldn't have enjoyed.
I'm gonna give you an analogy, and it's gonna make a lot of sense. You know, we've all been to a bar, and there's a drunk chick throwing herself at you, just throwing herself, and she's like, "Come on, it's you and me. We're here. We're having a good time. Come on, let's party." You're like, ew, like I'd rather not. Like you're acting a little desperate. Like maybe 10 years ago when you're in your prime, yeah, but now you're kind of just out here looking for somebody. Like I get it, you're from this bar that we're at, or we're in the same town that you used to be in, but really you've seen better days, miss. I'd rather not. I replace all of that with JJ Watt and the Green Bay Packers. That's exactly what it is, dude. It's like, and he's a great player, but I know he would have came in just like Whitney Merciless, and he would have torn his bicep 3 games in, and it would have been like, okay, well, that's the last time we signed a veteran. And ever since then, the Green Bay Packers have gone super young and started getting like just rookies and just kicked all the old guys out. Old being like 27 and 29-year-olds.
Don't you guys still have Mercedes Lewis on the team?
No, he's gone.
Are you gone too?
He was on the Denver Broncos practice squad, and even we're like, dude, you're 41. We'll get another 29-year-old blocker who won a Super Bowl. And dude, that's why I'm like, I heard that storyline too, but I thought about it. I'm like, you're a little desperate, man. Like JJ. Not that he could
at the time, though, JJ was still in his prime. I mean, he
at the time I was feeling a little weak, and I was like, yeah, we need. That's
what I'm saying. Like, who doesn't want JJ?
Yeah, but sometimes the growth of the bar does sound like a good option, but it's not.
He even said he would have took a 1-year, $5 million deal. $5 million. Dude, that is cheap.
I won't see $5 million in my entire life.
Absolutely,
so
but again,
I get that.
It's just
you'll get it. You'll get it
eventually. One day. You got to speak it out into existence. Do the LeVar Ball thing.
Hello, everybody. I'm trying to raise $5 million. If you'd like to donate to my GoFundMe, it's going to be in my bio.
Just put that picture with the eyeliner. You're set.
Yep. Everybody will feel bad. And they'll say, we got to pay this kid for something.
Where are you?
Oh, gosh. Oh man.
Oh my gosh! Open mic tonight at Timber with our boy
Yes.
Anthony, and hopefully, I mean, probably next week you'd be off because it's Christmas.
Yes.
And then probably the next week, maybe New Year's Eve. I don't know what they have planned.
No,
New Year's Day.
Day. So prior to our bet
You
with
booked
bets, we had said New Year's Day we're having an open mic at
Nice.
Timber. So we'll see after this week. We'll see what happens. Or if I don't know if the guys over at Monday, if they start more drama, maybe we'll get it canceled again. We'll see. I don't know.
I mean, they already started drama by taking your first venue. I
They-
mean, we had talked about you going to the other firehouse, and then immediately, oh yeah, we're gonna be at the firehouse.
that's
in
why they
Orlando.
told me that last.
What a coincidence.
Uh-huh.
I hope they don't wake up to hot sauce in their eyes.
Oh.
They'll be back Monday, and I believe we got Boydston coming in Tuesday, and then bets Wednesday to wrap up our week. We'll be out Thursday and Friday next
Yes.
week.
Mhm.
And
Happy holidays, Merry Christmas.
luckily for me, Moneywise is taking the next 2 weeks off.
So Sparky gets time to play his PlayStation for the first time in a year.
I've got to
Let's
dust that thing
go.
off and see if it still works, and catch up on a ton of shows. That
Little Far Cry. What are you playing on the little PlayStation?
I don't
there?
even know anymore.
Simpsons Or okay,
I haven't played in so long. I got the wrestling game and then got
Okay.
into it, and then I had to turn it off because of work. And by the time I get home, it's dark at 5
Yeah.
o'clock, and I'm like, I gotta
Does-
get to bed.
Yeah.
I gotta get to bed.
Yeah, at that point, it's not even as we get older, fellas. Video games, it's a little. I got 55 minutes max, and then my eyes start going like this. I'm like,
You
I
start
can't,
Honestly, I'm
fading
I
in
can't
and
even
out.
play. I can't
we
play
were
the-
just texting about that the other day. It was like, man, I gotta get home and do my notes still, and shower, and cook, and eat, and
Yeah.
it's already 9 o'clock. It's like, I can't even do nothing no
yeah,
more.
no scrolling, no nothing.
Speaking of entertainment news and whatnot, have you been catching up on any of these incredible shows that we've been talking about? Welcome to Dairy or anything like that?
I honestly, guys, I'm a big YouTube guy. I don't
Are
have
you?
cable. I use cable just for sports. I don't watch a lot of television, mainly because I had my little stint in TV and movie. I was in some films back in the day. if you guys
Ah.
You're a
know.
child actor?
I'm a child actor. Yeah, if you guys have ever seen El Chavo del Ocho in Spanish, that was me. That was you guys. You ever hear that?
I don't know.
You're gonna have to bring that one in. I'll play it.
Yeah,
I'll throw it on our
tell-
Instagram for you.
If there's any Hispanic viewers out there, please chime in with a cricket or something. I don't know. This is the character. Anyway, yeah.
Type
but,
L in the
so
chat.
Welcome to Dairy. What's that? Or what?
It's the It prequel series and whatnot.
It
Have
is
you not seen this?
Oh, I
Oh,
haven't.
dude,
Do you
it-
like horror movies?
I do. I
It
do.
Oh,
I
just
like
would
it.
love
ended
this
on
then.
Sunday, or the first season did, and it's incredible. It's
Well,
just as good as the
Give
movies,
me
if not
one
better.
moment in the show that is gonna sink it that I have to watch it. Like one moment, not
That's
even
hard.
not even someone.
That's hard,
like,
dude.
what-
There's a cut. Well, the first episode itself is gonna get you to watch it because
Oh.
it's got one of the craziest openings I've ever seen in a series. But I think the most cringeworthy part, in the best way, is there is a scene where one of the girls, her horror was like slug eyes.
Slug eyes.
Yeah, like she got slug eyes, and she took it upon herself to get rid of them.
She cuts her own eyes
she
out.
Cuts her
Or
own
one of
eyes
them at
out.
least,
Okay. And
but-
this is Stephen King.
Yeah.
I
Well,
mean, it's
again,
based on it.
I don't
Oh,
know. Yeah, I don't know
jeez.
if Steven actually had anything to do with the writing of the show itself, although
Yeah.
I would be surprised if he didn't. But it is definitely along the same lines. Like, this takes everything you love about the latest It movies, the
Uh-huh.
ones with Skarsgård,
Yeah, yeah.
and makes it so much better. Like, it just doubles down on all of it.
So it's even more gory then.
Mhm.
Oh, it's
Is
good.
it like Terrifier gory or
Sometimes.
not to compare clowns here?
No, it's got
but,
some.
yeah,
I love clowns, so
okay.
it was perfect. And Pennywise, I was already looking at a scene. I was like, oh, that would be a dope
Oh,
tattoo.
it's
Yeah.
great. And honestly,
Oh,
it also shows you how he becomes the clown. And
okay.
actually, like, how he got the persona and stuff, which was really
It's
cool
like a
as well.
spirit or something, isn't it?
Right,
Isn't he
yeah.
like
Well-
some sort of like cosmic like asteroid?
I can go down the entire line of what this is, but it's a weird thing. Like, Stephen King, again, for those of you who don't know, all of Stephen King's books are all interconnected.
right.
They all have their
somewhere.
own universe. It's
Yeah.
connected by the Dark Tower. Yes, that really bad Idris Elba movie that everybody didn't watch. And essentially, yeah, Pennywise itself is the little dots you see flying around. Like, that is what he is.
Ah,
And he's like this celestial god thing that just feeds on fear off kids. So that's
see,
essentially
dope.
what it is. And
They
his,
signed on for 3 seasons, so the next season is going to go 27 years later
Yep.
or before this season, and and I believe the final season is going to start in 1903 or something like that.
Yeah, when he first touches down on Earth.
So we've got our next guest, Bull Brady, coming up. So Anthony,
Thank
we
you guys so
appreciate
much.
you at all times. I'm hoping the Packers, Josh Jacobs, gets me some fantasy points this
We
week.
will see.
And hopefully,
no, not that. but
hopefully
no.
you'll get
no,
hopefully you'll
let's
get
do it, let's do
a
it.
Packers
Honestly,
win.
I think you want a Packers loss just to make sure your job is still intact, don't you?
Right?
I mean, at this point,
yeah. And without Micah Parsons, we're gonna probably
I
lose,
swear, if
so.
I go down to the open mic on Monday and see him in a Bears jersey, I'm gonna know
dude.
what happened.
I'm
I'm gonna know what happened.
I'm gonna be in a bear
He'll
outfit.
definitely have the eyeliner on. But
100%.
Timber tonight. Timber tonight show starts at 7. If they want to participate, either hit you up on
Just
Instagram or
show up at 6:15, sign up, and that's it. And we'll get you signed up. That's all you gotta do.
Appreciate you, brother. Happy
you guys so
holidays,
much.
and we'll
Happy
see you in the new
holidays.
year. We're
Thank
gonna
you.
take our break and get you some money with our boy Bolt Brady right here on the Early Bird Special.
Early bird special right here on KGEO Sports Talk 101.1 FM, 12:30 a.m. Our phone lines may be down, but that's not going to stop us from getting to our guy, Bolt Brady from Bolt Brady and his bro at the Believe Network. Hopefully help you guys make some money this weekend on some NFL and NCAA games. Bolt, can you hear me real quick? Okay. So I sent him a message. Hopefully he gets it. Check your settings, my friend. I think the mic might not be selected. It's not 100% sure.
Well, we got plenty of stuff to talk about. Not only are there some good matchups. He was talking about the Packers Bears, that game that we were getting into with Anthony. I'm looking at the game with the San Francisco 49ers, at the Colts, the Patriots, and Ravens. And I know it doesn't have anything to do with the playoffs, but I'd like to see what Quinn Ewers and the Dolphins
100%.
can do against this Bengals defense.
100%. And honestly, it shouldn't be that bad of a game for the rookie. I mean, I don't think that anybody's really expecting him to come out and look amazingly, but he does look pretty solid so far. So we will see what happens. I definitely hear Bolt on the stream. So let's try this one more time. Sir, can you hear us? Oh, we had him on the stream. I know I heard him. There he is.
There he is.
We got him. Sir, can hear us now.
What's up, guys?
What's up, Bolt?
Sir, good to hear from you, my friend. I apologize for the phone lines. Trust me, it would sound so much better this way than it does the other way. But hope you're having a good holiday week, my friend. What are your picks for this week?
I'm having a great holiday week. In fact, we always talk about winning chips. So it's Chips Miss, CHIPSMAS. And then my favorite sound, boys, beep, beep, beep. The Brink security truck backing up last week after going undefeated.
Nice.
100%. Again, you are on a roll on these Thursday night games, my friend. What do you feel about this whole 11 win matchup between the Rams and the Seattle Seahawks tonight?
Well, I'll tell you what. I thought it was a little scary that Rivers at 45 years old could come in and make a game of it. I just think the Rams are the better team overall. They have the better quarterback. I like the Rams tonight. And the line is actually flipped. They're getting 1.5 tonight. So Seattle's good. Don't get me wrong. I just think the Rams are better.
So do you think that the flipping of the point is kind of Vegas showing their inability to really ride with Seattle and Sam Darnold, especially through the playoffs?
Well, typically when the line moves that much, there was actually probably a lot of money that came in on Seattle. So someone out there is disagreeing with me.
Interesting. Okay. Very cool. Very cool. What do we got this weekend with NCAA? Obviously, college football playoffs will be underway on Saturday, but do you have any specific game that you're going to be looking at?
I do. So, Oklahoma has already beat Alabama, and they beat them on the road. This is another line that flipped, but I definitely think it flipped in the right direction, because when I gave it out on my podcast a few days ago, Oklahoma was getting 1.5. Now they're actually minus 1.5. And I agree with that. I mean, you're coming into Oklahoma. They've already beaten you before. I think it's going to be tough for Bama to play them. So I like Oklahoma there. And then Texas A&M, I believe it or not, I think they're kind of flying under the radar here. I think they're going to be way too much for Miami. The last 4 games, Texas A&M's outscored their opponents 160-16.
Jesus. And I mean, again, I know there's a lot of discrepancy about the fact that Miami is in this entire thing as a whole, and people think Notre Dame should be in there. But do you think Notre Dame would have even put up a fight against this team? We already saw them lose to A&M earlier in the year.
Yeah, I think Texas A&M is probably the team you got to watch out for to win the whole thing, to be honest. Their defense is just suffocating.
Do you think there's any chance at all, that we see JMU or Tulane pull off a win in their games this week? I don't, but everybody seems to believe that Oregon's in trouble against JMU.
No, I don't think they'll pull off the win. I think it's possible for them to maybe cover those big lines because it's like 21 and 17.5. I think they have a chance at that, but no, I don't think either one of them has a chance at winning.
Okay. They see, and I trust you, because honestly, the more and more I look at this, I can't see a world where JMU comes out and upsets Oregon of all people. I mean, just the offense of Oregon is way too prolific. And unless JMU has one of the best defenses in the country that I've never watched, I highly doubt they're going to be able to keep up.
Right. It'd make for a good story, but it's probably not going to happen.
100%. What do you got for us in the NFL?
Well, let's keep her rolling here. You know, a couple weeks ago, if you recall, when Chicago rolled into Green Bay, we took Green Bay, and I said, let's see what happens a couple weeks from now. And here we are. Now we're gonna flip, and I think Chicago. I like Chicago here. Money line. The line's really small. It's about 1, so let's just money line that. I like Chicago there, and then also. I think New England, you know, we went against them last week with the Bills. That was a great backdoor there. But I think the Ravens are going to be too much for New England here. I like the Ravens -3.
I was thinking the same thing. We did have a text that came in, was asking, he was looking at a parlay, and he said that the third one that he was looking at, he's trying to find a upset game, and he said, should I stay away from the Tampa Bay Carolina game or the Pittsburgh Detroit game?
Wow. I would I like to go with the better quarterback in that situation. And so, you know, a lot of people have been knocking Aaron Rodgers, but he's been kind of balling lately. And so if there was an upset, you know, a lot of times when the Steelers have their back up against the wall, that's when they tend to play the best. So if I was to choose someone for the upset there, I'd go with Aaron and the Steelers.
That's probably a safe bet. I mean, we've said it on this show a couple times. When Aaron and the pass game get going, the Steelers look like a completely different team. Now, do you agree with me, though, that the Arthur Smith style offense, the run first kind of thing, just isn't working in Pittsburgh?
Yeah, it's kind of tough nowadays, but the only thing is the weather's so bad and you know in Pittsburgh that you kind of have to focus on the run because when it starts to go now through the playoffs, you know, you got to have that run game. But you know, he can always light it up with DK when he needs to. I love that combination.
100%. And then real quick about the Chicago Packer game, it just popped up in my head. How much did the injury to Micah really shift the line?
Well, you know, that's a good question. Typically, someone that can dominate on defense like that has the possibility of moving the line maybe a half point, 1 point maximum. Usually, defensive players don't move the line that much. He would move the line probably a half a point.
Oh, okay. So it really wouldn't have been that much of a difference if he was playing or in this game.
No, that's kind of something the media will grab onto. It's kind of crazy when you think like someone of that much potential and that much dominance only moves the line a small amount, but it's really only the quarterbacks that move the line, you know, a few points or more.
Right.
Well, speaking of quarterbacks, this is my last question because I've got to ask you. You're the professional. So whether it's a team like the Chiefs that, you know, obviously lost Patrick Mahomes for the season, and they got a veteran type player that has played in big games, Gardner Minshew coming in, or, you know, a team like Miami with finally benching Tua, and they're looking at a guy like Quinn Ewers that really don't have a lot of tape on him. I mean, how does that affect, you know, the gambling side, or do you really just stay away from those types of games after the injuries or the benching of a quarterback?
Well, that's a great question. I think it's what you think of the quarterback that's coming in. So in those examples with me, you know, Ewers, I'm a little skeptical about, obviously, because he doesn't have much history of playing, right? And that can be a benefit to him as well. But someone like Gardner, who's been in this position before, not only has he been a starter, but a backup that's come in. And I followed his career quite a bit. He's like Teddy Two Gloves, where when they come in, they can kind of give a little oomph to that team for a game or two. So I kind of like Gardner. I actually do have my eye on that game. I think that line's a little small, 3.5 against the Titans. This is one of the worst teams in the NFL.
No, I said the same thing. And honestly, it's weird to me. I know the Titans have looked a lot better the last couple weeks than they have in the beginning of the season, but with just how bad they've played, I don't know how you don't have every spread in the double digits really against the Titans. Real quick, before we let you go, next 2 weeks, obviously, we're going to be having holidays on Thursday. So hopefully we could pull you in early before we get to those holiday breaks. But if we can't, I would love to get your thoughts on this. What is your way too early prediction for the championship in college? And who do you like as the runaway favorite right now for the Super Bowl?
Ooh, good question. So you can't. I will be able to come on early to help you guys out,
Fantastic.
but the college. Like I said, I just think that Texas A&M's kind of flying under the radar here. So I'm going to go with Texas A&M. Their defense is just really really good, and as we know,
Okay.
defenses win championships. And then in the NFL, wow, I just think like this is the first time in years where it's up for grabs.
Mm-hmm.
If you're Lamar or Josh Allen and you know that Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are out, you've got to get a little excited about that.
Mm-hmm.
So, I have a really good friend that's talking about the Broncos being the number one seed. And I said, well, in my opinion, that doesn't matter when Josh or Lamar come into town.
Right.
So I either like the Ravens or the Bills. And then on the other side, on the NFC, I do think it's the Rams that are playing the best.
See, the Rams are the only team in the NFC I can say that are the runaway to me, just because of you can always trust Stafford in that offense. But I agree with you. I've been saying for the last couple of weeks that you really don't want that first round bye if you're a team like the Denver Broncos or even the Seattle Seahawks if they end up winning tonight, because you want to keep playing. Like, you're having this ridiculous streak of wins. If you for some reason take a week off, the next week you're not going to be the same football team. So no
Yeah.
matter who you're playing, it's not going to work out in your favor. But when it comes to the Buffalo Bills, do you think that they need to win that division in order to actually have a shot? Because we all know what they look like on the road, and it's a vastly different team than when they look like in Buffalo.
Yeah, they are a different team, but I think it just matters who they're playing. I think the really only one that can slow down those guys are each other, like Lamar and Patrick. I think when they go up against the other teams, I'm not afraid of them being on the road.
Fair, very fair, and honestly, it fits to Josh Allen's play at least to be able to go on the road to places like Foxborough and Colorado, because he, in my opinion, has to be the best cold weather quarterback I've seen in decades. So it might actually work out in his favor. But we have run out of time, my friend. Thank you so much for yours, and we will talk to you next week.
All right, guys, take care.
Thank you. We got to take a break real quick. We'll get to our final segment of the day right after this. This is the Early Bird Special right here on KGEO Sports Talk.
Hey, we're going old school to end it.
I heard it this morning
Love it.
on Big FM, and it's been stuck in my head all morning.
I love this song. I'm not gonna lie.
So let's run down our football picks while we
Yes.
can. Tonight's game, which you can hear right here on KGO Sports Talk, the Rams at Seattle.
I'm going to take the Rams in this game. I do believe, but I would not be surprised if Seattle, like I said earlier in the show, utilizes the very weak secondary of Los Angeles and somehow pull off a victory. So
I'm going to go Seattle. We go over to the Saturday games, Philadelphia at Washington.
Philadelphia, I would like to say Washington puts up a fight in this game, but we all know Jaden Daniels ain't playing and Marcus Mariota ain't enough. So
Green Bay at Chicago, the Bets versus Anthony.
riding with your boy Dan. I gotta go with the Bears. Sorry, Anthony.
I'm going with Anthony.
Go for it.
I'm going Green Bay. Sunday's game, Buffalo at Cleveland.
Buffalo. Even though I wouldn't be surprised. Again, Shedeur Sanders. I think it's a week by week thing with him, and once we actually see him get used to the NFL game, it's going to be a completely different yard.
I'm going dog pound. We got the Chargers at the Cowboys.
Give me the crack wagon. I don't believe in Justin this broken hand situation. You barely beat the Chiefs last week, and let's be honest, it's because of a lot of miscues from the Chiefs and a torn ACL.
I'll go with the group of Charger fans that jump on the show all the time. I'm going Chargers.
Sorry, guys.
Kansas City at Tennessee.
Kansas City.
Yeah.
As much as I would like to say that the Tennessee Titans utilize a Patrick Mahomes-less Chiefs team, I just can't see it happening.
Jets at the Saints. I'm going Saints.
Saints. Give me the Saints. I don't trust the Jets.
Minnesota.
And honestly, I like what I've seen from Shuck, so why not?
Minnesota. Wow.
Yeah, I know. That's saying something.
what?
You're absolutely right. That coming out of my
I
mouth.
almost talked right over
Did
that.
I just say
what?
that?
Minnesota at the Giants.
Give me the Giants.
Ugh.
Give me Jackson Dart. I like Jackson Dart in this game.
I'm going Minnesota. Tampa Bay at Carolina.
Tampa Bay. Tampa
Really?
Bay is about to wrap up this division.
I'm going Carolina. Cincinnati at Miami.
I don't want to take Cincinnati, so I will take Miami.
Oh, I'm going Miami. You know that. Jacksonville at Denver.
Give me the Jacksonville Jaguars to end this win streak against the Denver Broncos. The defense is stout, and they will continue.
I'm going Denver. ATL at Arizona.
My boys. I'll take Atlanta, even though I hate Kirk Cousins, but at least it's not Jacoby Brissett.
I like Brissett. I'm going Arizona. Pittsburgh at Detroit.
Give me the Detroit Lions. Jared Goff will most likely figure out a way to get the ball to Amon-Ra St. Brown about 15 to 20 times, and they're going to make this secondary of the Pittsburgh Steelers look minuscule.
Yes, I want St. Brown to rip those guys apart. I'm going Detroit as well. Las Vegas at Houston. We're both taking Houston.
I'm sorry. I mean, you guys heard me yesterday. There's no real football team in Vegas outside of the UNLV team, and even they're not necessarily a great football team.
Sunday night, New England at Baltimore.
Give me the Ravens. I'll ride with our guy Bolt on this one. I was up in the air about this morning, but to be honest with you, I'd love to see Lamar Jackson go and win this game and at least keep them in some sort of shooting distance of those wild card spots.
I'm going New England. I just think Vrabel's got what he's got, and I'm not sure about Baltimore, man.
Vrabel's got it. He really does. He has the it factor as a coach, which vastly makes this team better.
And then to wrap up, Monday night, San Francisco at the Indianapolis Colts.
Yeah, I think we probably would have been better off with the Cincinnati Bengals in the Miami game in this one. But I will go with the San Francisco 49ers to pull this off against the 44, 45-year-old Philip Rivers.
I'm going with the Colts. I think Philip Rivers gets his win. And then breaking news, the Colts have just announced that they opened up the 21-day window for AR. So we might see Richardson, but I want to run through these texts real quick before we wrap up.
Please do.
The guy says, I've got Seattle defense against the Rams after 4 points against Flacco last week. I also have the Saints defense against the Jets, but I'm looking at the waivers. They've got the Broncos at home against Jacksonville, Kansas City against Tennessee, and New England is also out there, but I don't trust them versus the Colts. What defense should I go with?
New England against the Patriots, unless they meant the 49ers. But honestly, out of the 5 you've given us, go with the Saints. Why not? They're going against a beat-up Jets team with a quarterback that isn't going to be a starter next year. Let's be honest. And honestly, there's going to be a lot of opportunity for the Saints to make some plays on the defensive end. So I would say go with the Saints.
I like the Saints defense against the Jets. And the last one says, well, guys, I made it to second round of play.
Woo!
And Mahomes is out.
Oh.
And Travis Kelce is going to have any production. So we get to the waivers and Mark Andrews, Dalton Kincaid, Brenton Strange, TJ Hawkinson, Darren Waller, Loveland, Knox. Or should I just stick with Kelce?
No, don't stick with Kelce. As I said yesterday, I think his mentality is really taking a shot from all of this and this just a deplorable season. Whether he continues to retire after this year or if he decides to go back next year, I'm not 100% sure yet, but
he's done.
I think he's done as well. If I had to choose any of those, I'd probably go with Kincaid. Josh loves his tight ends, and I know Dawson Knox has been getting a lot of targets as well, but Kincaid stays the number one target at that tight end position.
I like Kincaid. I like Strange. I like Waller when he's involved.
Yes, and and that could be a big thing too. Rookies love their tight ends, so we could see a big game from Waller. So,
yeah, and I could say the same thing about Kelce. You're probably safer to go with Kincaid, but I would keep an eye out on Waller.
I would too. Hold on to Kelce, though, just in case he does have one of those breakout games this week and we see a completely different mindset. But even when he was on the podcast with his brother, there was like a level of cloud above his head. It wasn't the same, man. It was just awful to watch in a different way. We got to get out of here, though. Here comes the great Rich Eisen. Join us back here tomorrow, 7 to 9, as always. But, Sparky, let's get out of here.
Cashback is not available on gas in New Jersey.